There are 4 semi-auto sniper rifles in Ghost Recon Wildlands. The Mark 14, the G28, the Dragunov, and the SR25. In this series, I have reviewed thoroughly each one of them. Today, I'm going to compare them head-to-head and finally tell you which is the best, including damage tests on personnel targets at 300 meters. We're going to find out for sure which is the best. What's up, guys? Darkdally here, playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, and today I'm going to conclude the semi-auto sniper part of my series here on choosing the best sniper rifle. I'm going to conclude the semi-auto now that I've done 4 videos testing each one, because there are 4 semi-auto snipers in the game, and I want to tell you which one. I think I can say pretty definitively which is the best one, and once you see the test in this video, you will agree. Alright, so here we get the Mark 14 out right now. Now, I've done videos on the Mark 14, the G28, the SR25, and the Dragunov. And I do have a portion of this video. It's going to come after this, and it's where I tested them on damage on alerted targets. I know, I tested damage. Oh my god, Darkdally never tests damage. I did. I tested damage on alerted enemies at a range of between 300 and 350 meters for each one. The same targets, the same situation, in a controlled environment, so that's pretty conclusive. Now, there's one thing I want to say up front that isn't conclusive, and I'll show you what that is right now. I'm going to give you this up front, okay? This is as conclusive as I can make the test. However, these rifles are different levels for whatever that matters. My Mark 14 is level 3. Let's go ahead and throw another one over here. The Dragunov is level 13, the SR25 is 16, and the G28 is level 8. So they are all different levels, but they are between levels 3 and 16. So it's not like I'm comparing a level 1 versus a level 30, but there could be some deviation there. I want to say this is not completely 100% conclusive, but you'll see this test is pretty right on. And these sniper rifles, they all have different attributes. First of all, the Dragunov, which I just equipped, which is over here, the Dragunov and the SR25 have a slower rate of fire, and the Mark 14 and G28 have a faster rate of fire. Now, even though in the stats, if we look at the stats here, let's go back here. Let's look at the stats. Here we have the Dragunov. Let's compare it to the SR25 right here. It shows a different rate of fire, but they have the exact same rate of fire. Now, the same can be said. Let's go back. Let's select the Mark 14 and let's compare it to the G28, which is right here. And it shows these two have the same rate of fire, and they do. This I can confirm. I've compared them in a previous video, which I never released because the reason is the video was inconclusive because they have the exact same rate of fire, just like the stats show. So I never released the video. But I did compare them because a viewer said the one seemed faster than the other. I compared them. I counted the frames. They're the exact same rate of fire. However, let's go back to the Dragunov and highlight the SR25. This shows a different rate of fire, and it's very clear, even to the naked eye, these have the exact same. So anyway, here's the thing. There's 2 with a slower rate. There's 2 with a higher rate. Now let's talk about some other things about these rifles, because I'm going to tell you which sniper rifle is the best. I am going to tell you which one's the best. Here's the thing. Of these 4 rifles, these are all the semi-auto rifles. They fall into one group because if you're using a semi-auto rifle, you're using it against personnel, period. I'm not saying you can't use a bolt action against personnel, but if you're using a semi-auto rifle, that's what you're doing with it. They really don't necessarily have the stopping power to take down a vehicle, although there are exceptions, and I'll get to that. That said, they all fire the same 7.62 by 51 NATO rounds, except for the Dragunov, of course, in real life, fires a 7.62 by 54. Not much difference there, but keep that in mind because the Dragunov is a little more powerful than I may have led on in my previous video because I haven't tested them yet on soft targets, but we're doing that today. Right now, let's talk about rate of fire. Let's go ahead. Let's pull out the Mark 14, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's yank out the Mark 14. It has an insane rate of fire. It's right in line with the G28. Now, it's hard to measure the rate of fire. To be quite honest here, it's very hard to measure it because you can't just slam the trigger. You have to hit it in rhythm. If you slam it too fast, see those pauses? See those pauses I got there because I was slamming it too fast. The way to get the best rate of fire is to hit the trigger in rhythm with the weapon. But here's the problem. Let's go ahead. Let's zoom in with my scope. I chose different scopes for various rifles. There are reasons why. And if you watch the videos, it's all in this playlist. The first 4 videos in this playlist, you'll see why I chose each scope for each sniper. They're using the same parts. The longest barrels I can. They're using the AFG angled grip. There's reasons for that. Besides that, they're using the biggest stocks and magazines I can get on them. All really premium setup for a sniper rifle. If we zoom in with the scope, there's quite a bit of recoil. If you can see at max fire rate, there's quite a bit of recoil. Now you may say, well, who fires like that? Well, exactly. That's the point. You don't fire like that, especially when you're shooting a target 300, 400, 500 meters away. You don't shoot like that. You shoot slower, more like the Dragunov here. You shoot more like this. And guess what? That's the fire rate of the Dragunov and the SR-25. So in this part of the competition, I have to say the SR-25 and the Dragunov really win out because the Mark 14 and the G28 simply have an unneeded rate of fire. And yeah, I'll tell you right now, they do less damage. So there's that. I want to say that. A lot of people may favor them for their high rate of fire, but the high rate of fire doesn't matter because you can't crank out that rate of fire at 500 meters or 300 even and actually expect to hit anything. You need to have a nice controlled rate of fire like, say, this. And guess what? The Dragunov and the SR-25, that is their premium rate of fire. So on the rate of fire, I got to give it to the Dragunov and the SR-25. Now, of the two, the SR-25 does do the superior vehicle damage. I'm not going to show that in this video. I'd like to keep this as short as possible because I did show that in previous videos. I was showing vehicle damage, but that's kind of silly because we're talking semi-auto rifles, and the point of these is not to take out vehicles, but sometimes you have to. And so I will say of these two, I think these are best on as far as it goes with rate of fire because they have the best rate of fire and recoil control. And of the two, the SR-25 does top it in vehicle damage. Now I want to look at soft target damage. Now before I cut to this, here's what happened. Here's what I did. Let me show you my parameters. Let's go to the map here. Here's what I did for these damage tests. I went to Quantity Bravo. Well, I traveled around till this convoy right here reset. I went to Quantity Bravo and I took the convoy at about the same point, about between 300 and 350 meters for each rifle. I downed the main convoy truck, which stopped the convoy about right here or so, and from Quantity Bravo, sniped all the targets that got out of the car. That made it the most even test that I could do, and I did it with all 4 rifles. Now, again, remember, these rifles I'm using are different levels, but this is not a conclusive, write out the data kind of spreadsheet thing per se. This is just a pure on demonstration. But at least I do have the same circumstances. I wish I could have the rifles the same level. I tried, but come on, resources are. Actually, look at my resources. They're always unbalanced. See right here, I'm short on gasoline and meds, but I have like a jillion of everything else. It's just always how it goes. I wasn't able to level them all the same. Now, I could given more time, but you guys know I like to get videos out every day. Okay, enough of that. The point is, I want to give you a general idea, and I'm pretty sure, trust me, you'll make a judgment from this. Now, there's one other thing I want to say. Eroktic Gaming, great channel, by the way, good friend of mine. He's a great channel. You should check him out. There will be a link to his channel in the description of this video. He does really, really extensive video tests, damage testing and things like that. He will spend days or even a week doing a video. Now, I try to get him out to you every day, and I am as conclusive as I can be, but he takes far more time, and he does very conclusive damage tests. I just want to give him a shout out. Now, I only tested on alerted enemies. It's not fair to test on unalerted enemies. All the tests are on alerted enemies. All right, guys, enough with that. Let's get on to the damage test. Have the G28. It's the first one I'm using. Now, this one definitely takes a few shots to take down some of these guys. Now, I'm just voicing over this previous footage I recorded earlier. I have edited out all of the you searching for shots, reloading, and most of the missed shots just to show you. Look how many shots that guy is taking right there. Seriously. A lot of these guys seem to take a lot of shots with the G28, and that was the point of this test, was to try these 4 semi-auto sniper rifles against one another, just to see how many shots they took. Look, this one right here. I might be hitting 2 guys there. It's actually kind of hard to tell which one I'm hitting because I'm kind of aiming. No, it looks like I'm aiming at the one on the right. But the overall thing is the G28 is taking about 5 or so shots for these alerted enemies. And of course, I'm using the attachments I said with the G28 scope. Now, some of them also die instantly. That could be because perhaps some of them got hit by vehicle splash damage. Perhaps some were shot by rebels. Perhaps it was some, you know, kind of, who knows what it was. Some of them seem to die pretty fast, but overall, like this guy here again. Here we're looking at serious. Yeah, it gets a little bit ridiculous. Let's move on to the Mark 14. Now, well, let's have a look here. It's been a while since I've seen this. It's been a couple hours because I haven't seen this since I filmed it. Okay, these guys seem to be dying a little bit quicker. A lot of these guys are only taking like 3 shots. If you'll see, yeah, see, there I just moved on. I edited out a reload or something. Okay, a lot of these guys with the Mark 14 are only taking about 3 shots. Now, don't mind the fire rate, because again, because I cut out reloading and I cut out finding new targets and things like that, there might be like shots that are too close together. Don't mind that kind of stuff. And I hear I'm actually hitting a guy through that car somehow, I believe. Okay, so we're back to this guy. A lot of the Mark 14 is kind of a couple shots. Now here we are with the SR-25. Now this has been one of my favorites. Let's see how this, wow, this is performing well. Now it has a slower rate of fire. Notice how much quicker I get down these targets with the SR-25. Now it does have a slower rate of fire than the previous two, the Mark 14 and G28, but if you'll notice, I'm using the same rate of fire. I'm firing at, what is this, 300? It's really small on my screen right now, 350 some meters. I'm firing about 350 meters. So there's a decent amount of bullet drop to adjust for. You can't just go firing all willy-nilly. So, really, the SR-25 performs pretty damn well. There's only a certain rate of fire you can use anyway. Now, here I am on the Dragunov Svd, and honestly, my impression from the test before, you know, just now, right now I'm reviewing the footage. This is my first viewing of this footage since I've edited it. The Dragunov does pretty damn well, to be quite honest. In fact, now, Jesus Christ, look at that! Look at that! It's just dropping in one quick. Those guys might have been hit by splash damage from an exploding vehicle. That's very possible. Sometimes I had to blow up the vehicles to get the guys out of the way. That's true. Okay, so my overall evaluation of all of this, the SR-25 and the Dragunov are definitely, obviously, the 2 top weapons. I think a lot of the reason the Dragunov was one-shotting some of those guys is because I think they were hurt by, you know, previously, by splash damage from exploding vehicles. I think, and I'm going to say this, and I've said this all along, and a lot of people are going to agree, and some people are going to disagree. I think the SR-25 is the best semi-auto, you know, sniper rifle because it has a slower rate of fire, but if you're firing on a target at sniper range, that's the rate of fire you're using anyway. The Dragunov is a very close second place, though. I really honestly do believe the Dragunov is a very close second place. It has the same rate of fire of the SR-25. Now, it does less vehicle damage, but it seems to take down enemies with close to the same efficiency. All these tests, as you saw, were under the exact same circumstances. So I'll leave it up to you guys, but I'll tell you guys that in the end, the SR-25 is the best semi-auto sniper rifle. That's all there is to it. You have the correct rate of fire you need to get serious, accurate shots. It does the most damage of all of them. According to these tests, not only in personnel, but my previous tests in this video series where I was testing against vehicles, it also takes the least shots to destroy a vehicle as well. So there's that. So guys, take all that into consideration. My recommendation is 100% the SR-25, and that's through all the thorough testing I've done. Guys, I hope that this was helpful. I hope I helped you decide. But hey, tell you what, if you want to use a different one, use a different one. But some people want to know what the best is. You know, I got that a lot. Even after I posted my reviews of the 4 semi-auto sniper rifles, a lot of people wanted to know, well, okay, so which is the best? Well, the SR-25 has come clear in every single test except rate of fire, but honestly, its rate of fire, in my opinion, is optimal for what you need at long range. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for new content coming every day. Guys, it's been a pleasure. My name is Darkdally. I will catch you all next time.